Yes, yes, absolutely. But there's a lot of people that see that. You can see the list.
All right, you have 1 minute. It's 59.
Six counties already.
We'll now call this meeting to order. If we could have roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Present.
Commissioner Asper?
Present.
Commissioner Heinzerling?
Present.
Commissioner Lamore?
Present.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Present.
Commissioner Swartout?
Present.
Commissioner Moore?
Present.
Commissioner Levens?
Present.
Quorum present.
We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Heinzerling. We'll now have our opening prayer.
God of wisdom, we seek your help today. Come and let your wisdom fall upon us, O Lord, as we gather for this meeting. Give us clarity so that we can effectively tackle each part of today's agenda. Reveal problem areas and show us the best solutions that will apply. Point our eyes to every positive outcome and the best solutions since our last meeting, and let favorable results and developments encourage every heart in this room. Dear God, help us apply your wisdom as we decide on certain matters and make plans. This in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Now, if we could have approval of agenda.
So
I'll make
moved.
that motion to approve the agenda as published with a couple corrections, that we remove item 17 to the next meeting, only because Mr. Kaufman isn't here this evening and we'd like him to be present to receive that certificate recognizing his service. And then the item 19, second closed session for efficiency of the meeting, move that after the already scheduled item 8 closed session. So we'll have the first collective bargaining closed session with the second closed session back to back.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Okay, moved by Levens, supported by Huffman. Are there questions or concerns on the motion for the agenda? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Asper?
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we need a motion for approval of minutes,
Make the motion.
I'll second that.
supported
without
by,
the reading.
supported by Heinzerling, moved by Heinzerling, supported by Lamore. Are there any questions on the minutes?
With the amendment of not doing a reading.
Yeah, Brian.
Correct. I think I heard Commissioner Lamore say something.
He did.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll now enter into our first segment of public comment. Are there citizens who wish to address the board?
Mr. Chairman, Ned Berkey here. All of you got a handout today. This is one of the most important weeks of the year in agriculture. This is the 82nd National Farm Safety and Health Week, including mental health. And so all of you got a copy of that. A couple of things I just want to point out, and in keeping with my wife's, so in the back of your thing is a farm safety kit. And I would encourage, even if you're not a farmer, to keep one in your pickup truck, or if you have a tractor, combine, something like that. So this is one that my family got me. Unfortunately, I've had to use it, so I don't want to open it. Probably everything would spill out and not in order. But I would encourage everyone, and even those in the audience, if you have a pickup truck or some kind of a property where you need a first aid kit, this is absolutely amazing, and it's not very expensive. So I would encourage you to get that. Second thing is a slow-moving vehicle emblem. This is not a driveway marker. This is not a property boundary. This is something on tractors, combines, and implements of husbandry. I don't think there's a week during the year that goes by where I don't think I see some farmer on the road illegally. Fortunately, we don't have many accidents. We have some. I teach the 4-H tractor safety class, so I'm always looking for something wrong to show the students. But this is very important to recognize that it's a heavy, slow-moving implement. And now that school's back in session and students are probably texting when they shouldn't be, everyone needs to be careful to make sure that they recognize that some vehicle in front of them is heavy and slow. Tractors are well equipped, and combines. I bought a brand new tractor in 1976. It came equipped with lights, including road lights. The road lights had rear red lights, flashing warning lights. It had turn signals. It had a horn, power steering, power brakes, a roll bar in case it flipped over, seat belt. It had the SMV emblem, tinted glass, windshield wipers, edge of equipment, reflective tape, so you knew right where the edges of equipment is, heater, air conditioning, and a posture seat, because a combine or a tractor becomes your office during those hours. So right now, my combine is 42 years old. It's a 1983, and it has all those same features. So when I'm on the road going from my house south of Ida to the community college, for example, I try to be very careful to stay on my half of the road. If people can pass safely, they do so. If people stack up behind me, I try to pull over and stop, because some people don't know how to pass. And so then you try to be accommodating to people, and unfortunately not all farmers will do that. So those are two things I wanted to mention with this important week of the year, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I'm Darcy Piedmont from District 2. I know you have a lot on your agenda tonight and a lot of important decisions to make, and I also know that there are a lot of moving parts, and so I had prepared some thoughts to say tonight about the number of signatures that were of government employees, signatures on the petition to put Mark Brandt on the November ballot. It's really astonishing, and I'm still very confused why so many government employees are needed to give their signatures when there were probably other people. But rather than dwelling on that, I just want to say that I know when you go into closed session, I would ask that you just act in a way that you would want members of your opposite party to act if the tables were turned. This is not a diverse government body. Multiple viewpoints and perspectives, arguments are not represented here. So it's really up to you to work for the trust of all of the people in this community, even people who have different political persuasions. And just remember that there are some nonpartisan issues on the agenda tonight and in your closed session. And I hope that you can all act in a nonpartisan way, really for the good of the whole community. And along those lines, too, I just wanted to say, Commissioner Hoffman, I watched the last meeting, I watched the recording of it, and I wanted to personally thank you for working hard to get some legislative solutions to felons serving time while serving office. So I really appreciate that. I'll end on a happy note, too. I've been using the bike trail, and I love it. And I really, really appreciate all the work that you've done to help Monroe become a healthier place, a place where we can share space together in a positive way. So thank you so much. And I wish you some strong moral fortitude tonight. And even when people can't be here, we're watching. Thank you so much.
Hello, Mike Grodi, 10458 Michigan Avenue, Erie, Michigan. Most of you know me, I'm the Erie Township Supervisor, but I have a couple other hats I wear, one of which is the Chairman of the Monroe County Employees Retirement System, a position I've held for about 15 years now. I also am the President of the Acres Association, the Association of County Retired Employees. I do know that you guys have had an impact study done to consider reopening the pension plan. I would come up here in support of that action for all the county employees, not a smidgen of them, but all of them. The decision to close the plan a long time ago was a decision. It's been made. But it's bore out to be a poor one. Every county elected official is struggling with employees. I hear it all the time. It's something important that I think needs to be reinstated. We are a mature pension system that's been around for 50 years. On average, every year we put about $18 million in the local economy from retiree payments. So I would encourage the board to make the right decision and head in that direction. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Dale Benicki, 2390 Doty Road, District 2. As a candidate who stepped forward to serve Monroe County, I must express my deep concern about the current situation. In November of 2024, a person was voted to represent District 2 in the County Commission. Except for taking his oath of office, he has been absent. When voters vote absentee ballots, absentee is the designation of the voter, not the candidate. In February of 2025, the Board of Commissioners, with the advice of legal counsel, voted to release this commissioner of his office. The board scheduled a special election with the primary to be held in August and the general election in November. 3 candidates entered the primary race because we were told and confirmed by the board there was a vacancy to be filled. We campaigned in good faith, meeting with voters, sharing ideas, and preparing to represent this community. If this judge's ruling is allowed to stand, the voices of the people who supported us will be silenced. I've been an active member of my political party for decades. Much of my work is trying to increase voter turnout. The overwhelming answer I get from voters who don't vote as to why they don't vote is, why bother? My vote doesn't count anyway. I would always try to convince them otherwise. I may no longer be able to do this. The primary is an example of this. The primary election on August 5th, 2025 was completed. The votes of thousands of voters, both Democrat and Republican, may be voided unless there is an appeal of the judge's decision. I urge every member on this commission to vote yes to the appeal. I would invite anyone voting against this appeal to join me in visiting the residents of our district to explain why you voted to take their voice in government away from them. This is not about my personal ambition. It's about the people of Monroe County having a functioning government that truly represents them. Voters deserve clarity, not confusion. They deserve to choose their commissioner in a fair election, not to have that choice erased by a legal technicality. It's not just the candidates who lose. The people of District 2 lose their voice at the table. These kinds of elections and insecurities happen in third world countries. Please don't make Monroe a third world county. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brian Harwood, 394 Gulfview Way. I've watched online the past meetings that you've had, and I've seen the argument about Mark Brandt. I'd like to state that I lived in Raisinville Township before that, and Mark was our commissioner. When we needed city water, Mark was there for us. When we needed our road fixed, Mark was there for us. I believe Mark is a very fine person of the people, and I believe that he was voted in from the people because he does do a good job. And I'm just here to support him because he's been on attack. And the biggest thing I find hypocritical is in Monroe, we have more marijuana shops, but no one's speaking out against those. I'm not a marijuana user, but we've allowed it to come into the community, and I think trying to condemn a person for something he may not had any awareness of, I just think that's wrong. So, thank you.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. I'm Christy Swatek-Whitson from Ida Township. Some of you know me. I'm from I hold many hats. I'm with the Monroe County Republican Party. I'm with the Women's Club with the Republican Party, and I also hold a position on the Board of Trustees from the college. But I do have something I want to say tonight. I stand before you today with a question for every citizen of Monroe County should be asking. How is it possible that a man convicted of a felony, sentenced to prison, and barred from fulfilling the duties of office still holds a seat as our commissioner? Our own Board of Commissioners already recognized the reality of this situation. They voted to move forward with a special election and a primary, acknowledging the fact that when an elected official is in prison and carries a felony conviction, the people deserve the right to choose a new leadership. Take note that if the people wanted to have Mark Brandt continue to fill his duties as a commissioner, he could have been a write-in the primary, and that did not happen. That decision was from the Board of Commissioners of Monroe County, reflected both common sense and respect for the voters of this county. Yet here we are, facing a ruling from a Washtenaw judge that turns logic upside down. The judge says the seat is not vacated. Think about that for a moment. If an elected official cannot attend meetings, cannot cast votes, cannot represent the people who put them into office, then what good is it to say the seat is technically still filled? That is not representation, it is paralysis. If Mark Brandt ultimately maintains his seat of the Monroe County Board of Commissioners, the three individuals who campaigned for the primary will essentially find themselves sidelined. The primary and special election process was initiated because his conviction and imprisonment created the expectation of a vacancy. But if the court upholds Brandt's right to retain his seat, and the commissioners do not appeal that judgment, then there will be no vacancy to fill, meaning those candidates' campaigns will have no office to contest. In other words, their efforts, time, and resources would be rendered moot, not because of a loss of the ballot box, but because the seat they sought to serve is never legally opened in the first place. The law is supposed to serve the people, not tie their hands. The Board of Commissioners acted in good faith to protect the integrity of this office and the trust of their constituents. They acknowledged that a convicted felon in prison cannot carry out the duties of a commissioner. To ignore that fact is to deny reality. This is not about politics, it's about principle. It is about whether the people of Monroe County are allowed to have a functioning government that serves them, or whether they are forced to live under the shadow of a legal technicality that keeps them voiceless. So I ask you, and I ask that judge, who benefits from keeping a seat occupied? By someone sitting in a prison cell? Not the taxpayers, not the families, not the communities who rely on their commissioner's voice at the table. The commissioners were right to call for a special election. The people deserve the right to choose. Justice demands clarity, not confusion. And our county deserves representation, not excuses. So I ask the Board of Commissioners at this moment in time to follow through with their original convictions and place an appeal on this judgment. The primary has already taken place with people ready to fill this position. Please move forward with the appeal so we can have a special election in November. The citizens have already voted their choice in the primary. Thank you very much.
Any other citizens who wish to address the board? Seeing none, we will now move into our first closed session to discuss collective bargaining matters. Going to get a motion to go into closed session.
Motion to go into closed session. I'll second that.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Heinzerling. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yes.
Commissioner Asper?
No.
Commissioner Heinzerling?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
No.
Commissioner Moore?
No.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Motion does not carry.
How many voted in favor and how many voted against it?
3 voted against.
Okay, but you need a vote of 5 for this particular collective bargaining.
Okay, for this one? Okay, my
Yes.
apologies.
The next one requires the 6 votes. Does
Okay,
the
my
board
apologies.
understand what I'm saying? Okay, that's by the statute.
Okay. So we'll now move into closed session.
Why is there a difference between the 2 closed sessions? Just so I know going forward.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to abstain because I still have more questions.
And the recorder is started. It's just up to you. We are live streaming though.
Okay, we are now back into open session, finishing our closed session to discuss collective bargaining matters. Are there any motions related to the closed session?
I make a motion that we proceed as discussed in closed session concerning the defined benefit plan and DC match.
Moved by Levin, supported by Huffman. Are there questions or comments or concerns on the motion? Commissioner Asper?
Yes, I think that's a little bit vague.
Then, with permission, I'll say my motion is to open up the defined benefit plan as it applies to all law enforcement, sheriff deputies, command, correction officers, 911, youth center, and the prosecutor's office, to open up the defined benefit plan at a 2% multiplier with a 5% match in the DC.
Any additional questions? Yes.
I would like to amend that to be that we begin exploring that and talk more with our legal counsel so that we could do this in a proper way and make sure that it's going to be best for the residents as well as for the county. Because this is the first time that some of the commissioners tonight have gotten this information, and we feel like we need to digest it. So I would like to amend it that we do agree that we will explore it, but that we need to have more conversations with our legal counsel.
I reject the amendment. This has been an ongoing issue of public safety that's been affecting the law enforcement community for years since we abandoned the defined benefit plan. We are down approximately 20 deputies currently. We are losing trained deputies to more competitive other municipalities. This is not a flash in a pan. This is something that I and other leadership as well as commissioners have been debating, discussing, collecting numbers. This is not a surprise, but a long effort and initiative. You're welcome to vote no, but I am in strong support of this plan and really see no other sound path going forward for the benefit of this community to have the best capable law enforcement, to add this part of the compensation package, not only to attract, but retain talent.
Just to be clear, we didn't abandon the DC plan. This board voted for it, including yourself. So it wasn't abandoned. We did a 6-month study, and you voted for the
Well, we
plan
can
we're
split
now.
hairs or we can move forward.
Commissioner Swartout?
With your motion, what's the cost to the county to exercise your figures?
Well, and again, that was presented in the closed session. Those panels you have at your disposal, but the cost is the same to provide, greater benefits, as you were informed just moments ago.
Okay, so it won't be any extra cost to the county then?
It'll be a comparable cost.
Additional questions?
Yes.
Commissioner Asper?
Because I do think that we need to talk to our legal counsel about the approach of opening and so forth. I just think that needs to be discussed more, as he told us.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Having more questions and needing more time, I abstain from the vote.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper.
Abstaining for the same reason as Commissioner Moore.
Motion carries.
I would now ask for a motion to go into another closed session to consult with Monroe County Legal Counsel regarding a trial or settlement strategy in connection with the Monroe County and Monroe County Board of Commissioners versus Mark S. Brandt, Monroe County Circuit Court Case Number 2025-14922-CZ, and Mark Brandt versus Monroe County Board of Commissioners, Monroe County Circuit Court Case Number 2025-14923-0-CZ.
So moved.
Moved by Lamore,
I'll second that.
supported by Huffman. Other questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
No.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We will now move into closed session.
Should we take,
Okay, we are now back into open session. Is there a motion related to the topic addressed in closed session?
I'll make that motion that we need to take this down to the appeals court.
I support that.
Moved by Huffman, supported by Lamore. Now, are there questions, concerns, discussion on this motion? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't hear the motion either.
The motion was made by Commissioner Huffman, supported by Commissioner Lamore, to appeal this case.
Okay.
Are there questions, concerns, discussion on this motion? I want to give just a little bit of background information that I think is pertinent and important to the decision we're about to make. Mark Brandt, on March 20, 2024, entered a guilty plea in federal court to one felony count of maintenance of a drug-involved premises, punishable by imprisonment in a federal prison. His elected office became vacant upon his conviction. He didn't resign. He didn't disclose his guilty plea to the county board. He carried on in his role as a board chair. He then filed for re-election in April of 2024. He blatantly deceived his board colleagues and his District 2 constituents as he continued to participate in board meetings, even though he was legally ineligible to do so. When he was sentenced in September of 2024, commissioners and the public finally learned of his conviction and his 18-month sentence in a federal prison. He finally resigned on October 1, 2024. His illegal participation in almost 6 months of meetings jeopardized the otherwise legal and appropriate actions of the board. Mr. Brandt subsequently was re-elected to the board on November 5, 2024. As a longtime incumbent, he had no ballot opposition, minus write-in candidates. Mr. Brandt's silence was a major act of deception levied upon the District 2 electorate. For the previous term, all 9 commissioners were sworn in prior to the first meeting in the new term in January. For this most recent term, Mr. Brandt had himself sworn in on November 21st, prior to leaving to serve his 18-month sentence at a federal prison in West Virginia. When the new term began in January 2025, a majority of the board wanted to determine if Mr. Brandt was eligible to serve or if his imprisonment deemed his District 2 seat to be vacant. A majority of the board agreed with the legal opinion written by Phil Goldsmith that Mark Brandt was not a qualified elector at the commencement of what was to be his term of office beginning on January 1, 2025, and therefore did not meet the legal requirements to hold the office of Monroe County Commissioner for District 2. At the time board action was taken on this legal opinion, Mr. Brandt's published release date was February 26, 2026. The board then took action to call for a special election to provide representation for the citizens of District 2. Some have questioned why a special election. Fairness was the major reason. An appointment would have been for 2 years until a midterm election. In a partisan office, the appointee would have had an unfair advantage in an election held till 2 years out. And a citizen-initiated recall option would have stretched out the period of no representation far too long. Although on September 12th, the circuit court judge ruled in favor of Mr. Brandt, she expressed the predicament this board is in as nonsensical. She asked Mr. Brandt's attorney, what if the sentence was a 4-year term instead of 18 months? Would or should the court rule differently? Would it be appropriate to keep an elected seat open with no representation for an entire term? The judge stated that she was not overly confident with her decision, thus the main reason for her executing a 21-day stay to provide Monroe County with an opportunity to appeal her decision to a 3-judge appellate court. Had the court ruled differently on September 12th, I am quite certain Mr. Brandt would have exercised his right to appeal this decision. We need to do the same. Mr. Brandt has hoodwinked this board and the residents of District 2 for the last year and a half. We need to see this through to the end, and we need to move forward with an appeal. That's my plea to my fellow colleagues on the board. If there's no additional comments, I'll call the roll.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
No.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
No.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Motion carries. Oh, Heinzerling, so sorry.
No.
Motion still carries.
We will now move into resolutions, special tributes, and presentation. Item number 1, Community Mental Health Authority resolution formally opposing the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services plan to implement a competitive procurement process for prepaid inpatient health plans. Could I get a motion before we hear the presentation?
So moved.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Huffman. Now I'll turn it over to Ms. Graham.
Thank you. Good evening. My name's Lisa Graham, and I'm the CEO for Monroe Community Mental Health Authority. I want to thank you for inviting me to your meeting tonight. Earlier this summer, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services released a request for proposals to bid out the management of Michigan's public behavioral health system. Last month, Monroe Community Mental Health Authority's Board of Directors joined 55 other Michigan public mental health providers to adopt a resolution opposing this decision to do this procurement. Our board also voted to request that this Board of Commissioners consider doing the same. This is a really complex topic. People who've been in the CMH system for years are still it's a difficult topic, but I've done my best to distill everything into a brief presentation that really focuses on why should the county commissioners care about the PIHP procurement and how it's going? How will it impact the county? I believe you've received the proposed resolution in your packet, and then earlier tonight I did bring a letter that I think was handed out to everyone, and this is an open letter signed off by, you can see, a number of organizations urging the governor and the Michigan legislature to kind of press pause on this RFP process and to come together with all stakeholders if they're interested in system redesign. So again, thank you very much for hearing me tonight, and I will try to keep this presentation brief. So how does PIHP procurement impact the county? First of all, I need my glasses for this one, sorry. For more than 60 years, our CMH system has been under local government. It's rooted in constitutional authority, and our system serves over 300,000 residents. I think I can see this one better. Thank you. The Michigan Mental Health Code gives the county the role of establishing, governing, and funding the CMH system. And you do that by appointing members of our board of directors. And so that gives the county local control. So that the CMH board that you appoint, they have the decision-making power. They decide how the mental health services will be provided, what are we going to prioritize, what are we going to spend our money on, and so at the local level, we have that control. This proposal threatens to transfer the responsibility for over 90% of our funding for the delivery of these public services from a county-based system to giving it over to potentially commercial or non-public interests that would have virtually no accountability to local constituents. Just a little background, because I know the system can be a little bit confusing if you're not in it, but the current system, we consist of 46 CMH regions, and we have 10 PIHPs. Monroe is part of Region 6, so we're part of a region with Washtenaw, Livingston, and Lenawee counties. We each have 12-member boards, and each of us send 3 of our reps to the regional board so that we also have local representation at the PIHP level where the money is decided. The PIHP then holds the contract with the Department of Health and Human Services, and they manage the money, and they also manage a number of administrative functions. Interesting, though, and important to note, the PIHP delegates a lot of those functions directly to us at the local level. So we get to decide, again, utilization management, how the money is spent, who gets the services, how they get the services. We have local control over that. So I would also like to point out that the current system, while not without problems, it is cost effective. We operate our current public health system with about a 2% overhead cost at the PIHP level. We are accountable to our local communities. We are deeply embedded in our communities, as many of you know. For example, Monroe CMHA, we're involved in almost every human service organization in the county. We work really closely together. When you compare that to the private health insurance companies who could potentially bid and win the bid, they have about a 15% overhead as their average. So that's one of the main problems that we want to be careful about too. As I said, the way that the system currently exists, we have a lot of local control and local oversight. This board appoints the members. We get to be represented at the PIHP level. Important also to point out that the local CMH has the unique statutory role of being the gatekeeper for state facilities, and also we're supposed to be, by the Constitution, the safety net. So we're not just a mental health provider like your typical mental health provider. We do so much more than just deliver the outpatient behavioral health services. We help people with their physical health care. We help with supporting them to obtain and maintain housing, employment, their income. We integrate with all of kinds of health care. We have peer supports, and we just do so much that we don't get paid for if we were in a traditional system. A good example, and I don't know if Sheriff's still here, but a great example is the work that we do in the jail. Another example is if we're working with someone who needs to get their psychiatric medication or their injectable, they might not show up for their appointment. We spend 2 hours driving to all the places that we know they usually hang out to make sure that they get their injection. We don't get paid for any of that. That's not something we can bill for. There's no code attached to that, but it's part of what we do because we're not a typical just provider. So under the proposed system, nonprofit organizations like HAP, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Priority Health, they can bid to be the new PIHP. They're under the new procurement rules that came out. The PIHP system that would exist now, we would be part of a PIHP system with 43 other counties, not 3 other counties. And yet there would only be a total of 15 voting members on that board of directors at the regional level. They would still be subject to the Open Meetings Act and FOIA, which is great. But again, like I said, they want to move from 10 PIHP regions down to 3 PIHP regions, and our region would be considered the central region, and we would be part of 44 counties. We obviously have concerns with this. One of the primary concerns is the department is doing this behind closed doors. There's really been no transparency, this has not been an open process. It's been very quick, it's been very rushed, and they're telling us that this is all going to be done in place. They're going to select a provider, and we're going to be all good to go on October 1st of 2026. And I know you all know how quickly the state moves, and they want this to be in place in a year, and they haven't even selected a provider yet. We do support change and improving the system. We know there are things that can be improved, but we believe that we must be at the table with these discussions. Stakeholders, the people who use the system need to be at the table. The providers need to be at the table. Counties need to be at the table deciding how this is going to work. The other thing that's really scary is they're making all these changes as they're walking out the door. These changes are going to take effect about 30 days before the next election for the next governor. So this administration now can make the changes and then walk out the door, and then they don't have the accountability to be around to figure out, well, what are we going to do now that we've upended the entire public health system? And so the next group coming in is going to walk into a big problem. And they're going to say, well, we didn't do it. And the other people are, well, we're already gone. So it's just going to be a big mess. We did do something similar back in 2014. The state did. The department reduced from 18 PIHPs down to 10. But they did that involving the state legislature, involving stakeholders. It was a collaborative process. So if we want system design, we can have that, and we can have that by bringing everybody into the process. To summarize, major concerns are just, it violates the procurement process as they're doing it right now, violates the Michigan Constitution, it violates the Michigan Mental Health Code. It is not an open or transparent process. It's unnecessary. We don't have to blow up the system in order to make the changes that are necessary and that can benefit our whole community. Medicaid funding under this new system would be transferred from a county-based to giving all the control to this unelected commercial or non-public interest. And the newly established PIHPs would have very little to almost no direct accountability for what they do. There's right now, people can come in, they can come to our board meetings, they can come to the PIHP board meetings, they can call me directly. A lot of that vanishes if this new procurement happens. So I'm here tonight just to ask the Board of Commissioners to consider joining 36 other county commissions across the state of Michigan who've also passed similar resolutions opposing this bid out. And we're just asking the Department of Health and Human Services to withdraw the RFP and instead engage with us in a cooperative redesign that would include people served, advocacy groups, county governments, CMH systems, and public and private partners. Thank you very much.
Other questions for Ms. Graham?
I would make the motion to say yes.
Okay, I think we have a motion on the floor, right? Sorry. There is. Okay, any additional questions, though?
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henderling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper.
Enthusiastic, yes.
Motion carries.
Now moving into finance matters, item 1, payment of the September 17, 2025 accounts payable current claims report in the amount of $1,174,313.65. Can we get a motion before Sue presents?
So moved.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Huffman, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Meyer.
Good evening. On page number 1, vendor number 11802, American Planning Association. It's a registration for an annual planning conference. Vendor number 70351, Gordon Food Service, Inc., grocery items for the youth center in Fairview. Page number 2, vendor number 130902, Mercy Memorial Hospital Corporation, pre-employment testing for various departments. Vendor number 131507, Michigan State University, quarterly contractual extension services. And on page number 3, vendor number 260040, TriTech Software Systems. It's annual software maintenance fee for the central dispatch, and that's the end of my list.
Are there any questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
No.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Now, under consent agenda, item 1, approval of non-claims. Item A, check register dated September 5, 2025, in the amount of $273,570.34. Item B, check register dated September 12, 2025, in the amount of $574,959.82. Could I get a motion, please? Moved by Swartout, supported by Lamore. Are there questions on this motion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under communications, item 1, letter dated September 3rd, 2025, from Anna Marie Osment, Monroe County Clerk, Register of Deeds, requesting consideration of appointments for the 2 seats set to expire on the Board of Canvassers on October 31st, 2025. Names have been submitted from both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. 1 person from each party needs to be appointed for a term to commence on November 1, 2025, and end on October 31, 2029. Chairman Todd Gilman from the Republican Party submitted the following name, Vicki Kipp, seeking reappointment. Could I get a motion on this? Moved by Swartout, supported by Lamore. Are there questions on this? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Chairman Rick Cole from the Democratic Party submitted the following names: Christine Chickerell, seeking reappointment; Cynthia Vincent, Gloria Rafco. The motion is to appoint Christine Chickerell to the seat. Could I get a motion on that, please?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Huffman. Are there questions on this motion?
Just very quickly,
Yeah.
are the other two not seeking appointment and their names were just submitted? Or because by the bylaws, we're only supposed to have one name submitted. We have three here under the Democrats.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. There's the answer, lady.
Yeah, so the statute says they can submit up to 3 names. And the Republican Party just chose to submit the reappointment for Vicky Kipf. And the Democrat Party submitted the 3 names. Right now, the board works very well together.
Okay.
This is an important role that they have. They work in a bipartisan way. Actually, they're so objective, you can't even tell what party either one of them, any of them are working for, because they work so well together. And we get the job done quickly, efficiently. And so we would, I did give a recommendation that we would like to see Christine continue.
Okay.
Okay, we were just wondering where that came from. We didn't want to
Yep.
be.
Yep. I think that was at the bottom of my letter. I don't know if you got the letter. It should be at the bottom of my letter. I usually give a recommendation.
That's an even number on both sides of the aisle.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we have alternates, and the alternates are going to be, they're the same. I have the same for each. You're welcome.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 2, letter dated September 16, 2025, from Mr. Jason Berry, Community Planning and Engagement Director, requesting acceptance of a peer group member resignation and approval of the addition of 2 new members to the Monroe County Monumentation and Remonumentation Peer Group. Could I get a motion on this, please?
Make the motion.
Moved by Heinzerling, supported by Asper. Are there questions on this motion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3, letter dated September 11th, 2025, from Mr. Michael Bosanic, Administrator, Chief Financial Officer, related to the Monroe Loop Trail Project, and for the board to determine any consideration for replacing driveway turnarounds, landscape areas, and other items removed from the right-of-way during construction of the trail project. The suggested action is board discretion, so I guess I'll just open it up to a potential motion or some discussion.
I'll make the motion to replace them on the grounds that we're not replacing old landscaping that was deteriorated. They have pictures of the prior, I'm guessing.
Okay, so repair what was damaged.
My understanding from, we had a brief discussion of this at the agenda meeting, is that when the loop trail came through, there were, and actually it was a surprisingly small number. I think, Mr. Bosanic, it was 6 turnarounds, and the 6?
There were 6, yes.
And the number actually to remediate that was roughly about $60,000.
I'm seeing 66.4 in the letter. Is that what it is?
I'm trying to go from memory, not bouncing
There's
back
6
and forth.
driveways, 6
So
driveways.
I'm at a B minus now for recall. And the discussion was, I mean, it's kind of an equity issue. You know, we want the trail to have a positive impact on the community, kind of equitable thing to do that. But candidly, some of the additional landscaping and the rest was in the right of way. They didn't have that, permission to build those things. And so I don't want to say they got away with it for a long time, but they did. And it comes down to, at least for my concern going forward, a safety issue. You know, these, turnarounds are to, prevent, I mean, this is going to be a high-traffic pedestrian bicycle pathway, and we should go out of our way to restore the ability for people essentially not to be backing into folks walking and riding their bikes. So I would, put it out there, folks, to consider having this to restore those, driveway turnarounds on a public safety kind of good faith, basis. I'm not sure about the landscaping and the other things that were potentially impermissible in a right-of-way, but for that safety component.
Commissioner
Yes, I just want to add, I know it's in my neck of the woods where my office is out there, and I see a lot of people backing out, and there's so many people using that pathway right now, and I'm really concerned even with Bates Lane, needs some stop signs for either, probably the bike path, because then people come sailing through there, and even out of personal driveways. I just hope we don't have some bad accidents out there.
Yeah, there's a package of signage that still goes with the trail upon completion. That's, one of the final phases of
That's coming
of the
soon,
overall
though, I
work.
hope, because there's a lot of
Yep.
people using it.
The project's has a completion date in mid-November, so that's right around the corner.
Commissioner Levens, what are you referring to when you say turnarounds? I guess I'm confused.
So, the driveways have a turnaround, like little horseshoes, if you will, and those were displaced, knocked out when, it's a big path, I don't know if you've seen, it's 7, 8 foot, I mean, it's.
It's 10 feet
foot.
wide.
It's a significant, swath through, so I would just ask the make the motion, consider amendment, not to exceed that $66,500 to remediate the destroyed or ruined driveway turnarounds.
Yes. And make their waiver as well, a legal waiver.
And the legal waiver, the other things that we discussed at the agenda meeting, that there'd be the waiver hold harmless, that when we do this, then it's
Correct.
theirs, and we're not committed to lifelong maintenance and the other good policy things that council always protects us for.
Very quickly, I'm not sure if this needs to be in the amendment, but is there any way we can just say too, if we exasperate that 66.4 and there's still issues, that it be brought to us so the board's aware of that, so we can rectify those?
Yes.
Last thing we want to do is go paving through people's yards and not compensate them correctly.
I would agree with that. So Commissioner Heinzler, you're willing to amend your motion, and it was supported by Commissioner Huffman?
Yes.
So we're good on that? Any additional questions? A roll call, please.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzeling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now moving into public hearings, we have none. Is there any old business? New business. Item 1, Robert Sheldon Duncan statute location. There's the suggested action is refer to staff to review the request and coordinate with the committee for the statue location. Can I get a motion on that?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Huffman. Now questions or explanations.
Who's heading? Oh, go ahead. I didn't see your hand.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. I believe that there are some people in the audience right now that are representing the Duncanson statue. And I believe what they're looking for here, and correct me if I'm wrong, so please stand up and speak if I'm wrong, that they are looking for direction as to whether or not they have permission to utilize that area selected so that they can put signage up to solicit donations.
Maybe they should fill us up just a little bit if somebody can, please.
Yes, and we also want that site for the statue.
Correct, but I'm just immediately saying that you're looking to solicit donations first and then select this site as the statue site.
We don't want to put a sign up that's soliciting for donations.
Okay,
We want to put a sign up that says, future home of the Robert Seldon Duncinson statue.
okay.
And a few brief little things about who he is and about his 235 landscapes that he painted in his lifetime.
Would you mind coming up to the microphone, and that way we can just have it recorded as well for the public? Thank you so much. Is that okay, Chairman?
Absolutely.
Well, we don't want to put up a sign that's soliciting money. Okay. We want to put up a sign that says, future home of the Robert Seldon Duncinson statue, and who he is. And he grew up in Monroe. He's buried at Woodland Cemetery. He's a world-renowned landscape artist. And he painted the Smithsonian Institute accredits him with 235 landscapes. He's a significant citizen of our community. And we feel that we've tried to, work with staff And we think we're ready for you to say, okay, go ahead and proceed and try. This is the recommended place. We realize there's lots of studies that still need to be done.
And this is in the southwest corner of
Southwest
Loringer
corner
Square.
by the First Presbyterian Church and Dorsch Library. And, you know, this is an incredible man from Monroe, and it's time to honor him. And he is of European and African descent, which is also, I think, a significant thing for our community to have such a famous man of that descent that we honor. And I think it's important for you to say, go ahead, folks, because we have a lot of money to raise, and we can't raise it without people knowing where the statue is going to be. So thank you very much.
And I'll donate digging, whatever you gotta have done out there, dirt or digging.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Whatever you need out there, digging or dirt, I'll donate all that time.
I'm sorry, I really can't understand.
And do the
For me,
digging for the
what?
footer.
We'll
dig for
donate
the
his
footer,
services.
dig for the footer, pour the footer.
People where can
do
they
all that.
donate?
It's the construction part of it.
donate.
He actually did that with the
you know what?
President Monroe statue.
Do you know
so-
how much we appreciate you?
Well, no,
And we knew you
community.
supported us, and we knew that you were coming forward to help us. Thank you.
Well, I do it on behalf of all of us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And so is this motion as it's written, is that appropriate for right now?
I don't believe so. I think we need
Okay.
to add the location
Okay,
to allow them to pursue the statue in that location.
okay.
And I'm willing to make that motion.
Who made the original motion? Was
I
it you? You did, and who supported it? So you're willing to support the amended motion? Okay, now there are questions on that motion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yes.
Commissioner Asper?
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We now move into our second public comment period. Are there citizens who wish to address the board?
Good evening. My name is Jeffrey Albergo, 3175 Comboni Way, Monroe. And to add, as Nancy had said, not only was Robert Duncanson a landscape painter, he was always a resident of Monroe that traveled quite a bit. And from 1840 to 1872, when he died, he made contact and was admired by people like Frederick Douglass, Harriet Beecher Stowe, Charles Avery, and Richard Rust, who were both started some of the first historic black colleges in the United States. He was a guest of the Queen of England, and her chief of staff, the Lady Sutherland, was a big Duncanson fan. He also worked with 5 of probably the most pioneering photographers in the country and in Canada also. Photography started in like 1839. He started working with photographers in 1844. And he was painting backdrops. He would actually colorize their paintings. And by 1863, when he was in Canada, he worked with a photographer named Notman. And Notman's images were just bought by the McCord Museum in Montreal. They bought 400,000 of his images. And this guy was a photographer from 1850 to 1900. And that's how many pictures he took. He had patents on his backdrops and his even the snow used in his displays. And Duncanson was all part of that. And for 2 years, he worked with Notman and taught painting in his studio. And in them 2 years, he made such an impression on the art of Canada that he is considered the father of Canadian landscape painting. When he was in Europe in 1865, one of his paintings was actually bought by the King of Sweden and hangs in Stockholm in the Royal Collection today. And whenever he was in the area, he traveled quite a bit. He stopped in Monroe. His parents lived here in Monroe. His relatives still live here in Monroe. And he always made a point to come to Monroe and hang his new paintings. And he traveled, gosh, all over the United States. And he did it several times. And he did it, and he gave a lot of his paintings away for the abolition cause. And he actually gave a painting to Charles Sumner, the senator from Massachusetts, who was almost beaten to death on the Senate floor by the representative from North Carolina. And that hung in his office, and then it hung in his home, and now it hangs down at the DIA, who has 7 of his paintings. Smithsonian's got 22 of his paintings. And I just don't believe that Monroe, the city who has history on every corner, has no recollection of who this man is. And I've spent a good number of years doing some hard studying about this guy. And a statue of this man would just be a boom for this city, I'll tell you what. And that's all I got. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Brian Harwood, 394 Gulfview Way. On Mark Brandt, you had the vote. It was 5-4. If Mark was able to sit up there, you would have a stalemate of 5-5, I believe. When you say, Dave, and I respect you, when you say hoodwinked, when you have over 7,000 voters vote for him, I don't think he hoodwinked anyone, because the people are smart enough to vote for who they want, and they voted for him. I think spending a lot of money, taxpayers' money, to fight in court is a waste of our taxpayer money. So that's what I'd like to, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Stephen Meyer from Monroe County District 6. There was an earlier comment that brought up some concern that there were a lot of elected officials throughout Monroe County who signed the qualifying petitions for Mark Brandt to appear on the November ballot special election. And but that commenter said they didn't want to dwell on it. I would like to dwell on it. When somebody is elected, I think they take the oath to the state constitution, the U.S. Constitution. They're supposed to represent all people and uphold law and order. And I feel that that gesture of signing a petition to let somebody who is still an inmate in the U.S. Bureau of Prison System, has not finished serving out their sentence for their felony, is still walking around with an ankle monitor, that somebody like that deserves a position in public trust, I believe should arouse some questions to these public officials who would sign their name to that. And so from Raisinville Township, public officials who signed it were the treasurer, Rosemary Meyer, the clerk, Brenda Federley, the trustee, Mike Jarowski, the constable, a law and order official, Jerry, I can't pronounce his last name, Kuenlein Jr., the Planning Commissioner Craig Assenmacher. From the Village of Maybe, the Council Member Anthony Lito, Council Member Lisa Orenson, the President Joel Grubb from the Village of Maybe signed those petitions. All of them signed it. From London Township, the Treasurer Melissa Boucham, I can't pronounce it. The Treasurer of London Township signed that, and the Trustee Michael Pinkowski was a circulator of those petitions and signed it. I believe I'm very concerned about the state of things in Monroe County, and thank you.
Any other citizens who wish to address the board?
Dale DeSlover, 211 North Macomb, and go in a completely different direction. I addressed the city council last night, and the issue I addressed them on is an issue that the county should be aware of, because I think the two of you need to work together on it. I'm a member of First Presbyterian Church right across the street here. And probably if you've been around in the last couple of years, you've noticed a lot of people who don't have a home that have made the steps or the property there in the La Ranger Square their home. I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is that they have no place to go to the bathroom. I'm asking you and the city to work together. There's a bathroom, it's called a Portland Loo. It's virtually indestructible, made in Portland, Oregon. If you Google it, you'll see a picture of it. Between the church and the library, there's a little path there, and my wife and I were there a couple weeks ago, and somebody had pulled down their pants and gone to the bathroom there, and it happens routinely. And we know that during COVID, when we couldn't pull into McDonald's, we had issues. Nobody should have to not have a place to go to the bathroom. I think we need a restroom someplace downtown that's open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And I think it's human dignity. We need to take care of those people. And I know some of you say, go to the shelter. People try to get them to go to the shelter. They're not ready, or they've been there. So I just appreciate it if you would consider working with the city and trying to get that issue straightened out. Because I don't know for sure. That property's owned by the county. The church doesn't own any property other than their property ends at the wall of the church. They don't own any grass. The city has the library. So between the city and the county, you need to do something for those residents. Thank you.
Any other citizens that wish to address the board? Seeing none, we'll move into announcements. We were going to have a tribute for Mr. Martin Kaufman for his dedication to the Commission on Aging Board. He could not make it tonight, so we're going to delay that tribute for the next meeting. Is that fine? Yeah. Okay. I will now move into a member's time. Commissioner Moore.
I'd read in Robert Duncan's biography that he painted and did carpentry here in Monroe as a kid with his father on many, many houses. So who knows, maybe if you have a older farmhouse, he might have painted your house to go on to be a future. I don't know if that board's worth anything in your house that he painted, but to go on to be a future landscape artist is pretty cool from Monroe. I pass.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yeah, Mr. DeSlover, regarding your request for a restroom or a porta potty of some sort, I think it might be a little bit improbable, only because somebody's going to have to staff it or monitor it, and I don't know if we have the manpower to do that, so that might be an issue with that. I just wanted to kind of put out that as a, because I know between the city and the county, we're pretty well, we have our staffs working pretty hard already, and I don't know if we have enough available to monitor something like that. So I have, I'll pass the rest.
I'll pass.
Commissioner Asper?
Well, I've noticed that Stephen Myers comes up quite often, and it always seems like it's to criticize someone or reveal somebody or whatever. It might be his volunteer work with Indivisible. That might be what's motivating him. But I would just say that there could be other reasons for those people signing those petitions. It could be that they know exactly how Mark Brandt is qualified for the job, that he's no drama, that he's a great business person, that he doesn't need the job because he has made his money other ways. He doesn't have to count on the county for that. So I just think there are other ways to interpret certain things. And obviously there aren't 270 elected officials that signed that petition. We don't have that many. But anyway, I'm just so happy about this statue that's going to be built. I would just advise you to make sure there's some legacy money so that it can be kept up and taken care of and so forth. We did that with both the other statues, and it's kept them looking really good over the years. I'm also very happy about the resolution for not doing the PIHP, downsizing, and there's just so many things locally with mental health in different counties that are just very, very specific to that area, and I just think it would be a disaster. So I'm hoping that somebody listens to those resolutions.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yeah, just a couple things. Hope we can make this statue as nice as President Monroe, if not nicer. We're going to do a good job on it. I know we will. And it'll look grand when we get done. And then also, Mr. Meyer, keep coming, because what you find is good medicine to let the real people know what it's all about. Because there's right and wrong here, and that's the thing that we cannot establish here. And I know someday Jesus is going to take a hold of this. And it's going to be God that's going to say who the bad guys are and who the good guys are. And if we don't keep struggling to fight this, we don't want to fall on the bad side of evil. So I really think we need to keep after this. And then just another note, I'm still real active within Lansing, and I'm actually getting sparks from the other side of the aisle now. So it looks like there's going to be some teamwork here from the Republicans and the Democrats pushing this onto the voters on the ballot coming up in a few years. But we had to start somewhere, and I keep pushing on it, and I'm going to continue pushing on it. Thank you.
Vice Chairman Levens?
I'll pass.
Mr. Basanik?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman and Board, our plan for fiscal year 2026 for the MIDC office was approved by the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission last Friday. It was one of 13 plans that were approved. There are still 82 plans in Michigan that have not been approved, but ours is approved. Our funding was approved, $2.65 million. We have a local $217,000 match. Within that plan is a provision for the analysis of our plan. And so once we receive the grant agreement, the funding approval from the MIDC, as all other ones, they'll come to the board will act on that, and then we will have the financial commitment from the state to then begin that process to contract with the firm to do the analysis of our plan.
Thank you.
And thanks for the guardrails, if you will, on North Custer Road. Not everybody's going to get everything that they're looking for, but we'll work with legal and prepare what we need to do, and we'll go with the project engineer. We'll go house by house as we did before, explain what we're doing. They'll have to sign off, if you will, on the sketch, and then we'll come back with the contractor. And if you read in the letter, we want the trail project to be done in terms of that contractor where we're signing off before we bring another contractor in. Otherwise, we've got this as to who did what. So we've got a little bit of work to do, but we'll still be able to do this fall.
Thank you. I will pass on members' time, and so this meeting is now adjourned.